So he's finally back, commenting for you. Since he knows the game, he can join in too. Get your keyboards ready if you wanna post, cause no one beats the best co-host. Hi Nathan.
Oh, banana!
Ryan, please do the world a favor and never do that again.
I'm so glad we have that recorded.
How long did you spend writing that?
10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Good. That was the best use of 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's to go from the last DK game we did, which is our redo of the first game. It's the latest Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better.
It does.
I love this game so much.
This is the only one that I've actually played. I haven't finished it, but I like way back when what was it, Club Nintendo, their previous reward system. When they were closing that down, I just dumped all the coins that I had collected and never used on stuff. And one of the things I got at the very end was free Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for the Wii U. So I had some fun.
Yeah, but you didn't get the one with funky mode. Brand new funky mode.
Brand new funky mode.
Commentary now with Nathan mode.
I mean, I still have to buy the Switch version because
I think it's
I want the
98% the
the
same
DK guy.
games, though.
I know, but I'm the Donkey Kong guy.
What's funky mode?
You play as Funky Kong.
It's effectively easy mode.
It's effectively like Silverback Gorilla mode from Donkey Kong Country Returns. It plays itself.
Oh, that.
Basically, Funky is in this game. Obviously, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky are effectively power-ups that do different things. Funky is a mode where you have all those abilities at the same time.
Oh.
Doesn't he have more health too?
Yes, he does. So he's
Yeah, so
he's objectively better than Donkey Kong.
It's the Peachette mode, basically. Funkette, if
I
you
was
were.
about to say that, yeah.
Oh, that sounds like such a wonderful extra for those of us who've already played the game.
Well, apparently it's fun to speedrun, so, I mean, that's cool, I suppose.
And outside of Mario Karts, that's the first instance of playable Funky.
Yeah, aside from Mario Kart, I think it's the only time he's been playable.
Yeah.
Well, clearly the reason Donkey Kong has to save the world all the time is because Funky can't be bothered.
Well, Donkey Kong doesn't usually save the world. He more just, like, beats up people.
Saves his island?
He kicks invaders off of his island. That's about it.
Not
saves his
even,
bananas.
not really, because the island seems fine in, like, the other Donkey Kong games. Like, I guess this one, the retro games, and by retro, I mean Retro Studios, not retro as in
Not the retro
old.
games.
Yeah, so the retro games, I guess the people are being a little bit more evil. But, I mean, you know, really in the old ones, K. Rool's just kind of a dick. He's not really terrorizing anybody other than Donkey Kong specifically, and that's just because Donkey Kong is also kind of a dick. So, you know.
You're not wrong.
So anyway, does this game let you press a button to roll instead of having to shake?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's objectively better than the first one then.
Returns.
There we
Yeah.
go. I have not.
There's a reason I went straight to this game and not Returns.
So
Returns is a perfectly fine game, but I think out of the 5 Donkey Kong Country games, it is easily the worst one.
even more so than 3 is
I like,
the other one.
I
People
like 3 better. I like 3 a lot better than Returns.
Okay,
I
so
will say that, you know, I don't have a ton of interest in Donkey Kong, like, at all, but I did find this game very smooth feeling to play. And
Yeah.
that is something that I definitely appreciate in any kind of platformer. Unfortunately, I'm more of a 3D platformer guy.
To addend my statement a little bit, that's a little bit partially due to nostalgia because I grew up with the Super Nintendo games, but I just think 3 is a better game than Returns.
So out of the Donkey Kong games I've played, well, the Donkey Kong Country games, I should say, because I love Jungle Beat, but that's nowhere close to this kind of game. So.
It's not even remotely the same game.
Yeah, so I've played the first one, which is fine, and I played Returns, which is also fine, but it kind of ticked me off because, well, 1, the controls, and 2, I found a lot, I don't know, it's hard for me to say because it's been so long since I've gone back to it, but I didn't really get it, I guess is the best way to put it, and I'm sure that this game is certainly better. Like, for one thing, the main issue with the first one's gone, so that's good. And I've heard a lot of people say that this is an amazing game, which I'm not sure if I would agree if I played it, but you know.
Well, it's much better than any of the new Mario games. So.
Yeah, that's true, but I also feel like it's also not trying to do anything different, which is both a strength and a weakness depending on your viewpoint. So we'll see.
I would describe Returns as more as that. It's a return to form that doesn't really try very hard in a lot of ways. There's a lot of more effort put into this game than Returns.
Okay, well, we'll see. I should play it at some point, but I also don't want to pay like full price to play it, and I'm not.
It's Nintendo, Ted. You're kind of screwed regardless.
Yeah, but also were you? Oh,
I missed a few times.
okay, so that's the Donkey Kong you can jump after rolling off an edge thing. I never got. Like, I don't get it, but whatever.
Well, while we're on the topic, Nathan, what's your ranking for the Donkey Kong Country games?
For the Donkey Kong Country games, well, for anybody that really does know me, I always rank 3 as my personal favorite, because I remember 3, I got it for Christmas the year it came out, and that one has always been my favorite. And then 2 is right behind that. 1 and this one are kind of tied, and then Returns is at the very end, because Returns tried to be safe, but at the same time they took away a lot of, like, I feel the charm of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's too simple of a game to be.
Exactly, because even the original, you had multiple animal buddies. Returns only brought back Rambi.
For like one level.
Yeah, and I just...
This game certainly has a lot more ambition than the first one, I can already tell. In terms of the aesthetic, for sure, because I know that like, the first game was very clearly just trying to be Donkey Kong Country levels. Like, I can't really think of... Like, I mean, sure, there were some, like, slight twists, but there was still, like, water level,
it was
factory
mostly,
level.
Yeah, it was mostly just a DKC game with 3D graphics.
It did look pretty for the time, but it's...
and it had the sunset motif thing going for it.
It was a game, and it was like on the Wii, and that was something that not a lot of games could say, that they were on the Wii, and that they were games. So.
I hate these stupid pigs, though. I will never not hate these stupid. They're in their little waving a literal white flag. Oh, are you bad at video games? Do you want? Oh man.
We made this game harder because it's a Donkey Kong game and not a Mario game. But you died a few times.
God, Super Guide never irritate. Well, okay, it does irritate me in New Wii because then my shiny stars are gone and I can't do anything about it. But it just feels more insulting in this game for whatever reason. I don't know.
Nah, the most insulting one to me is New Super Mario is a Mario Maker 2. You died twice and Luigi's like, "Hey, do you want some help?" It's like, I died twice on the harder levels of the story mode. Give me a few chances first.
I've never had to use the Super Guide in this one. Is it anything like the Returns one?
It's basically the same thing.
I wish there was...
So the level plays itself for you?
Yeah.
More or less.
It's just, I wish there was a way to turn that kind of stuff off. If they were going to have it. Because, like, a lot of us would decide, like, before we start playing that no matter how many times we die, we don't want any help. Kind of just want to conquer the castle, That's how I
there's
roll.
at least one Nintendo game where you can turn it off, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. So, yeah, sorry. But anyway, I'm guessing Diddy works basically the same that he does in the first game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever able to play as them on their own? Because I know that was a thing
in multiplayer mode. Yes.
Okay, but never in single player mode.
Single player, no.
That's one of the few complaints I have about this game is not being able to play as just Diddy.
I think they realized that Donkey Kong is objectively just the worst character in his own franchise.
You see, I know that a lot of people think that, but I actually prefer the weighty feeling of Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Country 1 as opposed to Diddy Kong, where it just feels a little too loose for me. I don't know if I'm the weirdo, because of that or what, but
I kind of get what you mean, a little bit.
I think it's just my nostalgia factor from the DKC SNES games where I like having the two different gears to shift into if I want.
so is
Because
this
like
just
with
this-
the original DKC and DKC 3, you have a slow, strong person and you have a fast person, and
Yeah.
I always
Nope.
liked that.
You missed.
Yeah, I missed one puzzle piece. For the record, this is an every level run, not all puzzle pieces, because all that does is unlock like character art and dioramas. Which, congrats, you can look at that online.
Right?
and then there's also a speed run thing you have to do after you beat each
And mirror
level.
mode, and it's just
Yeah.
Wait, there's a mirror mode too? Is it literally just the level but backwards?
I think so.
You know-
or that may just be returns. I can't remember.
We finally have the screen resolution to make like unlockable concept art and shit in games like worth having, and we also have the internet, which makes it like completely pointless.
I will say though, like I still extremely like I get a huge kick out of art books and stuff, like physical art books that allow you to.
Well, that's different than having to boot up a game and looking just at a PNG on a disc.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
It's like, back in the day when all this stuff was worth having because we couldn't just look it up on the internet, the screen resolution was shit. So, like, you would get the scrapbook for doing everything there was to do in CTR, and it was really cool concept art and stuff, but it was also at PlayStation 1 resolution. And, anyone who's ever booted up a PlayStation 1 knows what I'm talking about. It wasn't very good. But now we've got all this HD wizardry and shit, and the internet makes it not worth having that stuff. Hi,
so,
Dixie.
so I remember actually, like I would but I still watch that stuff anyway because I remember like with the Sonic Mega Collection, I probably spent more time looking at the old Archie covers than I did actually playing the games. So
Oh, Archie did have some interesting covers, both in the good sense and the bad sense.
Sonic in the Rain, anyone?
I'm pretty sure that's like long after Mega Collection now.
Well, all I know is that John officially has that book now.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what makes that especially painful? I'm pretty sure that's after the Archie comics got like good writers and artists on them again. Like,
Oh, and another thing about the retro DKC games I'm not particularly fond of, the very limited amount of bonus stages.
Oh, you mean okay? The new retro. God, we have to
Yeah.
call them something else. But
Okay.
I don't. Sorry.
well,
I
you
mean,
could
the-
just say
the-
Retro
the-
Studios, and that would clear up all the
Fair.
confusion, wouldn't it?
that's a
Fair.
whole extra 2 syllables, man.
I mean, they are literally just the returns
Man,
games.
okay, look, I'm sick and tired of this digital age generation and its insipid need to abbreviate fucking everything. Okay, just say the word out. Alright?
That sounds like a good catchphrase, Lewis. But if we really want it to like trend on Twitter, we have to shorten it. So instead of say the word out, we're gonna call it STWO or STWO.
Fuck you. Alright. No,
So
but
is-
for serious, I don't really get why why everything has to be shortened these days. It's like at some point we're just gonna like be dug up by archaeologists 2,000 years from now, and they're never going to be able to Rosetta Stone this shit because there's gonna be no way to decipher anything we're saying.
So is
the fuck is
Dixie better than Diddy in this or
No.
no? Okay.
I think like you can
Well,
get more
they
height
do-
from Dixie, but
yeah.
more distance from Diddy.
Yeah. Dixie also has underwater. They also have different moves. Dixie has a very high rapid burst of movement underwater. Dixie gives you more general speed and can go through currents.
Oh, okay. And then there's
the propeller hair,
Then
yo.
there's Cranky, I think.
Yeah, Cranky actually lets you attack underwater.
Cranky is Scrooge McDuck, isn't he? Basically.
Yes.
I remember that Cranky Kong being playable was like their big announcement for whatever that year's Game Awards was, and I remember people being like,
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I remember because Reggie wore like a Metroid pin or something, so that meant that they were going to make a Metroid game or whatever, or as opposed to
You know, at the Game Awards, where it's mostly older teens and adults who watch this stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, granted, I think that's also a case of the internet looking too much into everything, as it always does. So,
I think at that point Reggie was actively trolling.
oh, that's his life, though. So I can't blame him for that.
That's why people love him so much. I mean, we even get a bittersweet thrill out of hearing him troll us about Mother 3 every 5 fucking minutes.
Well, not
When is that
anymore,
gonna
Rip
happen?
Reggie. I mean, he's not dead, but
Well, he is resting in peace. He's retired now.
He's probably like so glad to be done with it too. I would be. Oh. Okay. Just, propeller.
Yeah.
I know that this game likes to do a lot of different stuff with like destroying the environment and things like that. Like from the clips I've seen of some of the levels, that seems to be a relatively frequent kind of thing. Oh wait, why are we back in here?
I missed the G.
Oh, you missed the G. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the Returns games you have... Oh, I'm the secret exit, sorry.
Oh, okay.
In order to unlock the hidden level in each world, you have to get the Kong letters in each level.
Ah, okay.
Which means,
Oh.
obviously, finding secret exits. So,
Dix-
yeah, you need Dixie to go through this current.
Oh, Dixie can go against currents. I thought you said Diddy could.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, technically you can with Diddy, it just takes a lot longer.
Right.
Oh, is
and
it one
you
of
have
those things
you
where
have
you
an
have
air
to...
meter? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Donkey... Oh.
Oh. Oh, banana.
Can every character do the thing where you roll infinitely?
Yes.
Okay. And do you just have to,
Even
mash Y to do that instead of having to...
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So you don't have to break your arms trying to do it every time. That's good to hear.